I'm Linda Ford. I'm the chair of the Recognitions and Grants Committee. Just a little bit of information about this committee. It's chaired by the past president of SPNHC. So at the end of the ABM, the annual business meeting on Thursday, Barbara Thiers will be taking over as the chair of this committee. And I will be stepping down because she'll be the past president as Paul becomes the president. Andy has put up some links, which are sort of the links to the page, which tells you just a little snippet about the each recognition award and grant, and also the past winners. And as soon as the ABM is over, the winners this year, whomever they may be, will be posted. Well, I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, there we go. Yeah, so take a look at that. Also, there's a link there to more information about each recognition and award. It tells you what the purpose is, what the criteria is, what it is that you have to do to be able to submit to that particular grant, award, or recognition for someone, and then kind of what the procedure protocol is for the judging or whatever happens to it. So take a look at those. Take a look at those links. Also, you can go on the committees and representatives page, which will tell you who is on the committee. The people on this particular committee are past presidents. So these are all people that have been in the leadership role of SPNHC. They have, we had a really good group this year. They know exactly what SPNHC is about. They know where it's going. And so they're the ones that look at the applications and everything that are submitted. Also from that committees and representatives page, there is a link to what's called leadership manual. And the leadership manual is the actual workings of the committee. Again, maybe in more detail what the purpose is, the specific part in the bylaws in which involves this committee, and then also the calendar, the different times of the year that that things are supposed to be done. And then there's several appendices that are sort of the house procedures or house cleaning that include these pages, where to get this information, the procedure specifically for each one of the committee, each one of the awards, grants, and recognitions, and then also the form letter that goes out, which the next one will go out in the next newsletter for asking for submittals for recognitions, and if you would like to apply for like for the Faber Innovation Grant, how to do that. So this year, we just in general, we had a language change. The Faber used to be the Faber Research Grant, and we didn't really have people applying for that for several years. So we submitted to council at the last year's meeting to have the change to change to a Faber Innovation Grant, and that language was approved. So this past year, that's the first time that it went out as the Faber Innovation Grant. And we did have several people asking about things. Okay, leadership manual on wiki page leads to article not found. Great. Okay, that's something for the webmaster. So thanks, Christina. I'm gonna write that down right fast if you don't. Because we need to get that fixed. I forgot where I was talking about before I saw that, but anyway, I thought we had all those fixed for this meeting, but anyway, things happen with time, and the website just got a complete overhaul. So there still might be things. If you find anything like this, You might, as a member, you can write to the webmaster, you can write to the chair of the committee, or you can also write to the webmaster and let them know. We have a really good person that keeps track of that and keeps the website up. So back to recognitions and awards. So the next call will go out in the next newsletter. So pay attention to that. And then also these links that are in the Zoom chat will be able to tell you how you can apply for those grants. There's also information there about the travel awards. Just quickly about that, the travel awards, the monies or the budget is handled by recognitions and awards, but the actual advertisement, application, and reviewing process is done by professional development. And and the reason it's done that way is because if you do give a travel, if you do get an award, then find a mentor at the meeting, the next meeting we have in person anyway. You're assigned a mentor that will help you during the meeting and also just help you kind of get around spinach, sort of figure out what's going on. So it's a lot of help with that. So that's why that one is handled by professional development, because anybody can apply for the travel grant, but there is a healthy nod towards students and emerging professionals. So is there any questions about recognitions and awards? About the committee or about, like I said, everything? We'll get this link fixed, but everything should be up on the, we just checked all that last week. So everything should be up on the website and everything should be current as far as what the awards are about, who has won the past awards, and also how to apply for awards in the future. So like I said, the chair of this committee will change at the end of Thursday or after the ABM on Thursday, and that will be Barbara Thieres, our current president. So any questions about recognitions and awards or about any of the grants or anything like that? I would encourage you to read what they are. We have things from everything that gives recognition to people for their professionalism in our field, for promoting the aims and goals of the society. Awards that are for people that do exceptional work for the society. That's the other one was the Carolyn Rose Award. The one I'm talking about now is the President's Award. We do have honorary membership for people. Read up on that if you think someone deserves to have an honorary membership. The Special Service Award is things that are is an award that's given out every year to either individuals or sister societies that do things that promote what SPNHC, the aims and goals of the society. So when you attend the ABM, which will be on Thursday morning, everybody will, the awards will be handed out then. Any special service awards or any of the other awards will be handed out then. These announcements are always made at the ABM. So the people can get, and the travel awards are announced there as well. So people or societies or institutions can get full recognition for what they do by the general membership. That's the Special Service Award.
Just a note that the ABM is on Wednesday morning, not Thursday morning.
Yeah, I thought it's Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, I think you're right. Somebody check that for me. Andy, were you checking it?
It is. It's Wednesday. Wednesday morning.
Okay. Sorry about that. Wednesday morning, one day earlier. So check your times so you can attend. That's a real good, that will be a real good way to see how the society operates. You'll get to see reports from all the committees, as well as, and this is just one of those committee reports. Another award is the Vendor Recognition Award, and that is an award that goes to a vendor that has shown amazing support for the society. And then there's the Father Innovation Grant, which I had mentioned earlier, and that is for a project by a member you need to be a member in good standing. That the specifics are in the criteria, but it's for an innovative project that you can submit, and then that one will be judged by, it's got several criteria to turn in, and then that one will be judged by the committee and compared to other applicants, and then recommendation will be made. And then there's this, as I said a moment ago, the SPNHC travel grants. The budget is handled by recognitions and awards, but the actual advertisement, application, and review process is handled by professional development, because it is so closely linked with the mentorship aspect of SPNHC for these new members. So is there any questions about any of these awards, or anything that you've read about the awards, or any clarification you need on any of this?
Linda, this is Jean-Marc here.
Hi, Jean-Marc.
Good day. I was reading Paul Meyer's question about how many awards and recognitions are given on a yearly basis. So can you give us a little bit of a stats over the past few years of what's been awarded or celebrated?
Stats, no. I don't have that on top of my head. You can go to that link that Andy put in. Andy, if you could redo that link, and that gives the list of all the winners. You'll notice special, there's always a special service award every year. Number one, it usually goes to the local committee that's handling the meetings, and then any other individual or societies that are promoting what we are doing. And then we've had one vendor recognition award, and that's a new award that just got started, I think just 2 years ago. I'd mentioned earlier that the Faber Innovation Grant, which used to be known as the Faber Research Grant, had a hiatus where people were not submitting. I think our last winner was 2013, and just nobody was submitting to it. So we changed the language last year, and then we had applicants this year. I must say that we had more people interested than what finally came through in our application process. But hey, we got it started again, and we hope next year will be even more people. It's $1,000. It's obviously not going to kick off the moon, but it's a nice little start and a nice little way to get a project that you're interested in. So yeah, and I can't really say anything about winners this year. That will be announced at the ABM. So, and then the Rose Award, we haven't had a nomination for Rose or President in a couple of years now, or any honorary we really don't list. But you can look on the website and it will tell you the past winners, so you know exactly what's there. Let's see if I can put this link in here for this.
It looks to me as if Paul Mayer was actually asking how many nominations do we get in an average year, which we could use more nominations.
Okay, hang on just, let me get this in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I just want to get that link in there. One thing at a time. So you can see the past winner. Usually the special service, well, I'll tell you, since I have been chair, and I've only been chair for 2 years because it's chaired by the past president, there has not been a Carolyn Rose, a president, an honorary application. Those come from either the members who promote their colleagues, so it's really not solicited so much, or it comes from either the president who is naming someone, but it really comes from the outside, from the members. And I don't know if that is just people unfamiliar with it or what, but we definitely need to try to get more We're hoping that the website kickoff the new website will be able to generate, we put a lot more information up there than had been there previously about the awards and grants. So hopefully that will help kickstart it. Because for a while we had some issues with our website, and the idea was the problem might have been that people really couldn't get to that information. So with the new website, we're hoping, and with the links that have been providing, we're hoping that will help get people. I have done a couple of Google searches and found if you just do awards and grants spinach, you'll come to those pages. So hopefully that will generate more among our members. So special service, we had the nominations this year were granted this year. So any other questions? Andy just put up some information about the travel grants. As I mentioned a moment ago, the budget is handled by this committee, but the advertisement, application, and selection is done by professional development. And they have a subcommittee of travel grants. And thanks, Andy, for putting Elise Lecomp's name up there. She does a lot of work with that. And we had a lot of good applications for this year who wanted to go to Scotland. But unfortunately, I guess it's not going to be a secret this year that there's no travel grants this year, since we didn't travel anywhere except in our minds.
Hey, Linda, this is Mo Flannery. I was wondering how the grants are funded and if the committee has to do any fundraising or to backfill them.
No, we have, the committee submits a budget. Pardon me. The committee submits a budget, and so it is funded internally by Spinach. Now the Christine Allen travel grant, we have two travel grants. One's a Fitzgerald, that's internal, and the Christine Allen, is the treasurer on? Yeah, it's hard to know because there's two different committees going on. So the treasurer is best, but we get money for the Christine Allen for that one, and that's a 751 award. The Fitzgerald travel is 3,000, and that's internal. The Spinach provides that money. It's raised through publications, membership dues. If we have any extra money, like we had some money left over from a meeting just a year or so ago, it was put into the travel budget for this year. But since we are not since we have a virtual meeting this year, I assume that will probably be rolled over, especially the council needs to figure that out. The new chair needs to figure that out, but that will probably be rolled over. Also, some new monies may come in. For example, when the local committee does a Spinach meeting and they have money left over, it has been tradition that they put the money back after they've paid for everything that they need to pay for, that if there's any profits, it has gone back to the society. And that may be earmarked for maybe a publication, or some of it may go to the awards, the travel grant. The Fiber Innovation Grant is $1,000. That also comes from internally. That is the money awards. Most of the others are recognition. But most of the money comes from Spinach internal. And the treasurer is the best one to answer specifics about maybe what's happened in the treasury. She also, Cindy will give that report at the ABM. So if you're interested in the budget of Spinach, that will be there. That's published there in the ABM report. Not only what happened in the past, but the projected for the future. So you can see exactly how much money goes to each one of the committees. So any other questions about this particular committee? Thank you, Mo, for that question. I had to scratch my memory on that one, but thank you. Any other questions? Also, Andy put up the thing about the Christine Allen Award. Thank you, Andy, for that. My internet is a little wonky, so I kind of go out. So Andy has really been helping a lot. I mean, top notch with getting us information. And so he is explaining in the chat about the Christine Allen Award, which was a woman who used to work for, he used to work for one of our vendors, and unfortunately passed. And so for those of us who've been around when we knew Christine, she was at every meeting. So it was great. And part of our good relationship with the vendors is why the Vendor Recognition Award has come about. Because there are some vendors that, and you can see that in the, it'll be on the, maybe Andy can provide that link as well. They usually have who contributed money to the meeting. But we do have some vendors that have been very loyal to SPNHC and contribute money just in general, just contribute money. They don't get a break on coming to the meeting if they contribute. It is just contributing to the society. So that will be acknowledged somewhere on the website. I just don't know exactly where. But so that's how the Vendor Recognition Award kind of got started, is trying to recognize some of our commercial, the commercial entities that have really shown us good support over the years. So any other questions about this committee? I will encourage you that if you're new to SPNHC, or even if you're not new to SPNHC, to take a look at the committee and representatives page. You can just Google it, SPNHC committees and representatives, and see what committees are the standing committees that are, and even the sessional committees. Standing committees are ones that go year to year. Sessionals are usually started by a particular president, and so that after their task ends, they usually absolve. And see which committees strike your interest and inquire about joining. You need to be a member in good standing, but that's the best way to get involved in the society and to see how it functions. So I would highly recommend. Like I said, this particular committee is filled with past presidents. The idea being is they know where the society has been, they know where the society is going. So, but there's other committees that are equally important to to our aims and goals as collection professionals, and also to the society. So take a look at it and see what committees might generate your interest, and contact the chair of that committee and about joining, and what they do, what they plan to do, and maybe how you can help. So, any questions? No? Any general questions? Theoretically, we have the president here.
Well, Linda, I, not wanting to wrap this up, I just want to make sure that before the ABM, you are recognized for your past 2 years working on this committee. Thank you very much for this work. Thank you for your support all the time there.
Thanks, John Mark. Appreciate it. It's in good hands. Barbara's been honed by fire, so she is.
Yep, there you are.
So, does anybody have any general questions? Like I said, we're only wrapping down the last 3 minutes. You have the president here as well.
Yeah, if you have any questions, ask away.
The one thing that I will say is I've been very impressed with the attendance at the committee meetings. The few I've been on, the others that I've been on, and then these two have been well attended. So I thank you all for attending it. I thank you for your interest. And again, we'll encourage you to get involved with Spinach. It's a society of like-minded people. If you haven't been to a meeting, not just a virtual, but a physical meeting, I encourage you, if one is in your area or coming up, to go. If this is your true passion, you'll meet other people that are just like you. And Barbara, do you want to say where the meetings are next year? And we've got a couple of them fleshed out, I think. Next year could be.
Next year, it looks like it will be Gainesville, no, Jacksonville. I don't know if Paul is on this and wants to say something. That's really his area. And then we do return to Edinburgh in 2022, but there'll be more about that.
So start thinking about going to these meetings in the future. You know where they'll be, and these will be posted on the website, so you can look up and see where they are and start preparing. So
Absolutely.
So
that's pretty much
I'll
all for recognitions and awards. So I'm going to close out that. So thank you all for.
Paul was trying to say something.
I just wanted to real briefly mention that the Jacksonville meeting will be a joint meeting with the AIC, American Institute of Conservationists. And it looks like it'll be a very reasonable meeting to go to, which might be a welcome thing for a lot of folks. I think the hotel price is at the Hyatt on the riverfront, and I think it was $159, $149. So it seems like a very reasonable price to a meeting.